He's put his opponent under immediate pressure in his frame from the break.
He'll need to use the cushion here.
It's certainly an interesting game. Then again, all snooker games are interesting. If he looked any more relaxed, he'd be asleep, wouldn't he? Reliable safety. Well, he can get behind the cue ball without a problem there.
It might be too hard here.
Well, you just can't beat a game of snooker, can you? Having said that, Caribbean holiday would be nice too. Maybe I could set up a table on the beach. You never know. Beach snooker might catch on. He's played that one impeccably.
Well, I played it impeccably. Think about that. Here we go.
Should have been safer than that. The red on the edge of the cluster must be a firm favourite. The
Wow.
first points then after that
Heck,
spell.
no. Well, we'll let it go. I'm curious.
Almost.
Now what?
Difficult pot he's got to play here. Could use a little luck. Wasn't to be.
Wow, big miss. Big miss. That's a big miss. Oh, yellow's all the way
He's
over
back
here.
in balk and should be safe.
You say that.
He put a good bit of spin on that one. This is a good time to just nudge the black.
That red is definitely potable.
Which one? There's like 3, my dude. Like 3 reds I can get. The real question is what color are we gonna play after this? I feel like I'd want to score more than 1 point. Where is this gonna come back to?
Hope you're all enjoying the new screen in Screen Cameras Home. It's certainly interesting to see the players' reactions after different shots.
1.
He needs to keep a nice tight rein on that cue ball.
He's got a very unusual play style, this player. Very rarely see him applying any kind of spin. He should proceed with caution. You can tell a lot about how a match is going by a player's body language.
It's a good pot and things might just start to open up in front of him here.
5.
Yep, he's got where he wanted to go.
Nicely done. It wasn't easy to get the pot and the position.
Six.
Can he pot the green?
There's a few colours to be considered here. That was a nice blue.
11.
He's really struggling to decide on a shot. Perhaps he can ask the audience. He could phone a friend. Sure, he's got one or two who could offer some advice. Not naming any names, of course.
12.
It wasn't beyond the realms who expected a better positional shot there.
I think he's going to have a crack at this yellow.
I think I might have a little siesta while he's thinking about this shot. Somebody wake me up when he takes it.
19.
It's a disappointing shot. He's got it all to do on his next.
He's going to have to pull something out of the bag to get a pot here. It's there.
20.
The blue looks about his best chance.
This is a brain teaser. There's a few considerations to take into account before selecting a colour.
Should be able to put this one away. Just needs to concentrate. Not looking fazed by his opponent at all. Ooh, no. For a second there, I thought he was going to take a shot.
His potting has definitely started to show signs of improvement.
25.
Which of the available reds will leave him in best stead to continue the break?
Great shot. He was up against it but responded well.
$26.
He should be able to get the angle he wants from here.
It's a good pot, and he's well poised for the next.
Where are we going for the next shot?
$31.
I don't know where we're going for the next shot.
It's important he gets a good angle on the black.
This red will give him the right angle on the black to lead him to his next red.
Is that going to be hard enough? Or is it too hard?
May as well get the chessboard out and have a few games while he's thinking about this shot.
I think this is going to hit the ball. And it's not going to go there. Oh, I figured it was gonna happen.
Misjudged the position.
Yeah.
He made the pot without too much difficulty, but he's left some work to be done with his next.
Too much emphasis placed on the pot there. If you're watching at home and wondering what it takes to be a snooker pro, well, the answer is practice makes perfect, of course. Still, I can highly recommend World
Ooh.
Championship Snooker for your game console as well. It's fantastic fun.
Games Council.
He's spoilt for choice here. He usually gives every shot a fair bit of thought before he commits to it.
That one on the side cushion is a realistic choice.
Better just go in.
38.
He'll take the black, I'm sure.
Yep, it was a great pot and he got a great position too.
It's looking good with this visit. Nothing spectacular, but he's building a nice break.
It's a decent pot that puts him in a good position.
I hope he's seen the one near the black.
$46.
He needs to keep a nice tight rein on that cue ball.
You'll need to play this one with kid gloves, I think.
$51.
Hopefully they have a shot. It might have been
Almost
boozled.
certainly try to cultivate a nice position on the black here.
The red near the yellow's looking good.
I hope it looks good.
$52.
Can he achieve a nice position on the next red from here?
$59.
He just needs to get this red and follow it with any colour. He'll not be fussy.
That red near the pink spot's as good as any.
$60.
Can't see beyond the blue, to be honest. This is frame ball.
There's a few colours to go for here.
That'll be a weight off his shoulders. Unless he does something horribly wrong, he's got the frame.
He's done a good job here and can breathe a little easy for a while.
He's controlled the cue ball nicely there.
$66.
Looks like he's earmarked another 5 points.
He's going to have to pull something out of the bag to get a pot here.
Oops to that.
Well, at least I brought a book to read. I could probably read two before he decides on a shot.
$69.
Nice.
I think we want to get nicely on the black after this one.
Good.
Oh, too much. Yeah, it'll be okay.
70.
It's looking good with this visit. Nothing spectacular, but he's building a nice break. The position isn't ideal, but not too bad.
$78.
He's looking good for a century. A calm head needed. Bit wayward there.
Ooh.
Well, this is a really difficult double for him to play. He's going to need a large helping of luck, I should think.
Are you allowed to do this? Is this allowed?
He's out in front, but that mistake might just cost him the
Oh,
frame.
that's a foul. What do you mean cost me the frame? What are you talking about? I was curious if that was a foul or not. I'm just going to reload. Double. What did they mean by double? Legit don't know.
No, it was a tricky shot in fairness.
I'm assuming he's going to be something. We did not gain any stats. Alright, next week.
I'm glad my microphone is still working. I dropped it earlier. I thought it might have damaged it.
I'll try this.
There's been sign that he's getting into his stride, but he wants to be more consistent from now on. He needs to get the cue ball back to the ball to be safe.
Ooh, in trouble here.
1.
Big
The
trouble.
ball split nicely. This is a real chance.
I can't believe it was actually left from the break. I like that. It was just straight left from the break.
8.
There's a few roads he can go down here.
Pretty sure you just put the rest on the table and you just shoot this. Oh boy.
16.
Now what? Safety shot? No, he's got a straight one right. Another. We're not. This is not
The
going well.
stress of this match is really taking its toll on him.
Uh-oh. Now where are we headed?
24.
Surely he has a potable opportunity.
Controlled the cue ball nicely there.
It's open enough that any miss could give us the whole dealio.
Good.
There. Another black.
Another
Okay.
crack at the black would be nice.
Another red. Another black. Man, that break miss, and he's just gonna run the whole table. The whole table. Mm-hmm. Yowza.
Good.
The black's looking like a good bet again.
All right, he's
There's
got another
several
one.
roads he can go down here. On target.
He should be able to get the angle he wants from here.
Pretty close to resigning the frame.
He's a very quick player. Loves to move around the table and keeps the tempo up.
This is coming back for the black. Look at this. Out of the black. Are there even enough points left? There are. Not by much. Out of points on the table here. For the black. We're gonna have to learn how to break better, apparently.
This could be a crit. Doesn't want to do anything too clever here.
This in the color is gonna do it.
Skillful shot there.
It's the frame.
He's done a good job here and can breathe a little easy for a while.
Let him finish up, but it's the end of this frame.
Should be a fairly straightforward plant here.
Need several snookers. At least 3 snookers at this
Those
point.
plants are always risky.
Look at this guy. Playing a carom shot.
He's got the century in his sights.
Right now he has a perfect break. 4-7. If he straight up puts down a 1-4-7. Very close. Pretty sure the next couple reds he's gonna have, it's gonna be whether or not he can come back for that yellow. Maybe this red on the rail, but I would think you can make that happen.
Great shot.
Alright, this is for the century.
He'll take a lot of positives from achieving the 100. It's never easy in the spotlight.
Set up for the red right here. Is he really just gonna roll off a 1-4-7? Is that how busted this is? Are you kidding me?
103.
Is he actually going? I want to hear the commentary if he actually gets a perfect break. Almost there. He didn't hit any other ones, right?
110.
Maybe it's a 1-4-5 break. Maybe just shy of it. We're missing something. He must have hit a blue once. Yeah, he hit one blue. Ooh.
111.
That's actually hard. This is actually hard. Easy. Forgot. AI, it's easy. It's a free shot.
Great cue ball control.
Completely free. 145 is the highest possible score here.
$123.
He's still in pretty good shape here. The position looks good.
Told you, all you have to do is miss, and they just go perfect the rest of the way.
127.
Perfect the rest of the way. Not sure what we're doing with this
132.
ink, though. Ink's actually a bit of a problem. The way that this was
Ought
hit.
to be a straightforward pot.
You say that? Is it really? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it is. Game over. He actually ran the entire
138.
table without missing. Entire table. The only reason it's not a 147 is because he had one blue. That's what we're playing up against right now.
$145.
He was in control of that frame from the beginning.
Just watch the other guy play the entire... They've not given me more stakes. Still.
It's not escaped him yet. There's still everything to play for.
I need him to start missing again.
Looks like he wants to get up and go home. He'll want to be as tight as possible on the baulk cushion here.
Yep, safety is definitely the best policy.
He should have killed off any potential danger by putting the cue ball safe. He's going to have to pull something out of the bag to get a pot here.
Probably pot the red one. Not where he's aiming. Ooh, almost caught the pocket.
He's been practicing spin shots, judging by that.
The cue ball keeps travelling. That'll be the top spin.
What do we even like here? No, we can't go behind because it's a playable ball there.
Well, it's difficult to make a call on man of the match. I'll get back to you when it's over.
Oof, that was kind of bad.
I'd be looking to pot the red that's just loose from the cluster.
It was nowhere near the prediction.
Whoa. Oh, that really was a heartbreaker.
Didn't make the pot and didn't do a great job of controlling the cue ball. He got himself nicely on the next, but missed what was admittedly a tricky pot.
One.
Won't be long before he'll be trying to bring a few reds out into the open.
Will he opt to go into the reds?
He's not a great positional player. I think he might find it hard to keep the cue ball under control here.
Eight.
You won't be too disheartened by this position, but once you run out of position it can be a nightmare trying to regain it.
That red is definitely potable.
Well, I'm not sure how he's going to find a way to play the ball here.
9.
Skillful shot there.
Ooh, problem.
16.
Hopefully there's a shot.
That cue ball looks pretty unpleasant there in the jaws.
What he doesn't want is for the cue ball to hit the knuckle.
Okay. Just a matter of where I want this cue ball.
He'll be pleased with that pot.
Oh, I'm gonna hit the green.
Great cue ball control.
Which option will he plump for?
Can he achieve a nice position on the next red from here?
That is a very real question right now.
Good pot on the blue.
22.
He'll almost certainly try to cultivate a nice position on the black here.
This red should give him the requisite angle for the black, which in turn will leave him on the next red.
Twenty-three.
He's controlled the cue ball nicely there.
Looks like he's earmarked another 5 points.
That was not what was supposed to
Skillful
happen.
positional.
He's got options here.
Do I? Guess I do.
Nicely done. It wasn't easy to get the pot and the position.
Let's see if this goes.
29.
He'll take the black, I'm sure.
This is about as simple as a shot as you could
Sensible
hope for.
streamer. Oh no, made it worse.
36.
I'd be looking to pot the red that's just loose from the cluster.
The shot requires the rest, and it's certainly a tricky one.
$37. 44,
He's not placed enough emphasis on positioning there. Good pot, mind.
There's nothing really shouting out at him.
Not really sure we have much of a shot. Trying to just break up the reds. Unless this is a shot. Is there a shot over here? No. Only shot we have is to play this guy.
Well, the rain was pouring down outside when I arrived earlier, but I can't think of a better place to be on a rainy day. I'm sure plenty of you at home have the same idea. Curled up with a nice cup of cocoa to enjoy the snooker.
We'll see if it goes. It's probably not going to go. Did go.
45,
To get the pot and the position will please him.
I can't see why that black isn't potable.
$52,
There's no reason why he can't get nicely onto the black again from here.
It's a good pot, and he's well poised for the next.
$53,
Works enough.
I think he's going to have a crack at this yellow.
There's a few colours to be considered here.
Hey, Gruff. Uh-oh, I think I actually straight missed it from not paying attention. Needed it that
Not
harder.
shot the 50. I'm
If
sure
we
he'd
get
been
screwed,
left
I'm just gonna
wondering what
reload.
it Could have been.
Got a little distracted. Hey,
He's not thrown the
glad you're
towel in
here.
just
I
yet,
just
but
wasn't,
he's well behind.
wasn't thinking there. Okay, we're out of pocketable reds. So now what are you doing?
Too much emphasis placed on the pot there. Ooh. Agonisingly close, but there's no points for near misses. I think he knows exactly what his opponent is capable of.
Well, he didn't do enough, but he's escaped unscathed.
That's safeties from the top draw. This is a tough pot for him here.
Hmm.
1,
Hmm. That's not as good as we drew it up in practice. If it'll go. I don't know if it's gonna go. Okay, it went. Now what? 59 points left on the table.
Couldn't control the cue ball.
I had no way to put English to break up this mess.
I can't see any easy pot there.
He can get the cue ball very safe. Starting to get a little warm in here. Either that, or it's just all the excitement at the table having an effect. Almost potted the white there.
Yep, safely in book.
I was hoping to get better snooker.
Nice and safe.
Now what are we doing? We're in a war trying to...
Reliable safety.
We need like 2 colors and 2 reds. Lock up the frame. Oh, he might just scratch. Please scratch. Aw. I think that was good. Was good, crowd? Good? No, it's not. Should it be? What do we even do? What did we even do? We can come up with a run. Is it win a tournament? Is it just the fastest tournament win?
Should have been safer than that.
Hopefully it was safe
I
enough.
guess he'll want a bit of power on this shot if he's to get around the table for his next.
Yeah, I guess he's gonna steal one. Oh wow, we might lose this frame.
1.
Black's
There's a few
gonna go.
roads he can go down here.
But if he doesn't crack the 2 reds, still not anywhere.
Couldn't control the cue ball. He's going for the plant by the looks of it.
No way.
He had a go at it, but it wasn't easy.
He missed.
Well, you can see the tension written all over his face,
He
can't you?
totally missed.
My math serves me correctly, and he's 2 reds followed by 2 colours. Looks like he was running a little too much on the final resting place of the cue ball there.
This is an epic moment. History. Is this going in? I can't even tell. I can't even tell if it's going in. Where's this ball going?
I'm dying for a nice cuppa. Milk and 2 sugars if you're listening, Mr. Producer.
Man, is that in the jaw of the
A
pocket?
friend of mine asked me the other day where the name for snooker had come from. So if you're wondering the same thing, it actually goes back to the invention of the game by the British Army based in India in the late 1800s, where new cadets were nicknamed snookers. The term was then adopted for somebody who was inexperienced at the game, and eventually, of course, the game itself. He usually gives every shot a fair bit of thought before he commits to it.
I don't even know. I really don't know.
It was a long one, but he's put it away confidently.
Now what?
He's left himself an interesting one now.
Do we just try to play the
Nice
blue?
pot, but what about the positioning?
Slight pressure on this next shot. Should be okay if he keeps his cool. Good. Nice pot.
6.
He needs only this one then. Should be able to put this one away. Just needs to concentrate.
A red and a colour will do it for him.
Cue ball, not ideal position for him, but he should be okay. Looks like he's gonna need to use the rest for this shot. His opponent
Nice.
needs all the remaining balls to be level on points.
7.
Let's make sure this blue goes in.
Couldn't control the cue ball. Oh, he's looking very relaxed. Is he meditating over there?
There's nothing really shouting out at him.
What do you mean? I can only go for the yellow, guys. There's nothing else I can do right now. Nothing else shouting out at me because there's only one ball I'm allowed to hit. The yellow or nothing.
Oh no.
They really don't like the way I do this. Like, oh no, this guy's got to line up a shot again.
Skillful positional shot. He's got a very unusual play style, this player. Very rarely see him applying any kind of spin. Yes.
Oof.
21.
It's a good pot, and he's well poised for the next.
Yep, it was a great pot and he got a great position too.
$26.
It's looking good with this visit. Nothing spectacular, but he's building a nice break. Amazing pot.
39.
There you go.
He's got a free flame cushion over his opponent then.
Still have no stats. Me next time. Still, so it's best of 19, which means yes, we need to win 4 more racks. Braves. All right, let's see this terrible game. That's actually kind of okay. That Cochise is playing. It's called Spirit of Speed 1937. It's a fantastic disaster. Oh, hi, Steam. Why are you here exactly? Really? It has nothing to do with anything. Yep, and it doesn't have a disk drive. Doesn't have a disk drive. So this game was originally developed or published or whatever through Microprose on PC for a UK and European Union type audience. Oh lord, it's kind of loud. Somehow, LJN and Broadsword, this is, I believe, the last game ever released under the LJN flag. And as far as like it promises something very nice here. And I really don't know how good the PC version. I know there are differences in the PC version. It required too much of a graphics card when it during the war racing, but yeah, this would be the era right after they sort of stopped doing crazy road racing, where we're actually on real tracks as opposed to streets. We do not want the car noises. If I can tell you anything, you don't want the car noises. Do not want car noises. They're way too loud for no reason at all. So there's a few different modes. So the PC version, I believe, has 15 cars on track. We're only going to get 5, which for a racing game is awkward. You have 3 choices of difficulty. Do we check out what championship mode is, which sort of follows something from like 1937? I'm not really sure. And for whatever reason, this appears to be bugged in some way. Like, we can kind of pick the car that we want. So I was checking out what some of the other cars were. This Alfa Romeo Bumatore is possibly the best car, question mark, but I'm not really sure about that because it handles terribly. Auto Union's probably pretty good. But I mean, like, they tried. It's just that also these cars handle, like, you have disc brakes, you have radial tires, and you know, you literally have a missile. Like, but we'll try this car again, which was just absolutely unwieldy. You know what? Sure, have the other thing is it only had 3 gears. I wish it said what year each car was from, because many of these are like renditions of the same-ish cars. Okay, your Mercedes-Benz 125 and the 154. And you'll notice that they put a massive 5.6 liter engine in the other one. But anyway, we'll try this one again. This one says it goes. Yes. Yeah, it could be a good one. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, it's different each time. They changed the championship. Sharpie was right. I guess we can give ourselves a name so we know which championship driver we are. Let's see how bad this is. So you see, we're only going to get 5 cars. And they put together a little championship qualification. Doesn't matter. You just hit start, and then somehow a game happens. I'm gonna need more coffee and a sugar or something. But yeah, Deadlock servers open up in an hour, so I figured we'd check this out. So Cochise is playing through this. If you're not familiar, they're playing through like Sharpie is. They're playing through all the Dreamcast games, and this little gem. I think it's pretty cool. It's just that it's, you know, it's in an era where you really needed a lot more effort to. It's very early. It feels a little bit more early '90s Microprose. There is a soundtrack. I think they actually dropped the soundtrack on the other release. We'll notice we also have oil, fuel, and tire wear. And for whatever reason, this particular car, maybe it's just because I'm on hard mode. I don't really know. You see, like this, the brakes do not work on this car. Oh, well, this guy's just trying to kill us. Everyone's trying to kill us. Yeah, there's just no brakes on this car. Maybe that's the issue, is that we shouldn't pick this car and we should have picked the Mercedes. We're just gonna get slammed. Yeah, maybe we should go back. Maybe we weren't supposed to pick this car. I mean, it looks like it's the fastest, but it has literally the handling of a child's Matchbox car. Oh, here's some braking. We're actually braking here. There's just no turning whatsoever. There are no, and the other thing is, this game has, I mean, not like this would be a massive thing back in the day, but you'd certainly have a few different settings. But there's no simulation of any kind of car settings or anything. It's just what car you pick. It's like Snowboard Kids. You picked the board that you want. Yeah. Well, you notice our tire wear is just ridiculous, and we're not even finished one lap. And for whatever reason, this car just careens. Like, if we can't get through this race, we'll switch cars, and you'll see that the other one is a lot more handleable than this is. But I don't know if I'm supposed to drop. See, I'm just, what is happening? All right. There is a menu issue on the emulator. Let's just go back. Let's go back and pick a different car. I think you're supposed to get the Benz 154 or something, because it's kind of like we're using a sort of glitch, or just, I don't know what's intended. But if we go back, I mean, they're in the Auto Union D154. All right, let's go back. Let's go back. I go back. Get me out of here. Take me back. Do I have to, like, reset the game now? Okay. You have to go to single race to lock your car. Let's try a different one. No, it's probably the 154 or the Auto Union C. So what are our choices here? 5 gears, 750 kilos, or 5 gears, 186. Let's just go with this guy. I as much as I want to change gears, it was letting me do it without that. Alright, let's go. Now there's only 4 cars. Chose hard. Is it because I chose their car? Is that the issue? Was I not supposed to choose that car? Alright, let's try this. See if this car handles a little bit better. Or if just all of them just slide into oblivion even though I'm off the brakes. I don't know, because there is like a standard speed that these guys are going at, so if we don't go a good enough speed, you know. But I think any of the regular, I don't know, there must be a reason that because we chose this car, now it's only a 4-car field. But yeah, the AIs kind of drive at a certain pace, and you see that, maybe except for the leader, kind of, I don't think there's a catch-up logic type thing. They just drive at a certain pace. I'm a moron, I didn't know why I did that. He's just crashed. But see, our tires didn't just completely get obliterated in one corner like the other one did. I guess they're still pretty bad. Maybe it's just because the other car was just going that much faster. And you really are just supposed to brake that, you know, this much ahead. Maybe the other car was fine and I'm just crazy. It sure didn't feel like the brakes worked particularly well. But yeah, so the championship is different for each of the different series. So if you pick up Championship Easy, it like starts you on the high-speed oval and stuff and not one of these tracks. So the interesting thing about this game that kind of has, like every time I'm watching somebody play it, I'm kind of like, huh, is that all of, so few of them, some of these old ones are run on actual streets, so they kind of made those up a little bit. But several of the tracks, like Roosevelt, Tripoli, many of them are actually old tracks, and many of them are lost to time in the sense. Okay, I guess we reckon this car too. Lost to time in the sense that they are not currently used anywhere else. Like the land has been. The track does not exist anymore, and if it does, it's, you know, a dirt road or something now. So that is kind of cool. Like, yeah, I mean, it looks kind of accurate, I guess. I think this one was just public roads or whatever. But if you look up some of the history of this, they did a reasonably good job at trying to be accurate to what this game is. It just needs a little bit more racing polish to it. You know, like if I was going to get like the IndyCar game or something from the early 90s, or Grand Prix 1, 2, 3, or 4 or whatever from Microprose, I think I would expect a certain level. And I haven't played the PC version of this. I've seen pictures. I know it's different. Having not played it, I don't know exactly what is majorly different. Wow, we're just going to be out of fuel in 3 laps. Am I just supposed to coast into everything? Is that... Yeah, and that's what they were back in the day, because the cars had really poor handling. I mean, you can look up, if you look up some of the Grand Prix seasons, because the other thing is that there really wasn't an official Grand Prix at the time. Oh my goodness, I did it again. There wasn't an official Grand Prix. There kind of was, but like, not all. There were other races and sweepstakes races that weren't necessarily part of the quote-unquote Grand Prix season. And with a lot of the history of early F1, so Formula One, their record books, they start in 1950 because they said it was a good point for consistency. It also kind of lets them shove under the bus that a big part of early auto racing and just any of these competitions was nationalism and superiority, right? So you have the whole, you know, East Germany thing going on as well. So conveniently, they can just kind of make that go away. But the early 20th century of auto racing is just, it's really, really cool, and just there's a lot of interesting history to it to just kind of dive into. There's an old game called Old Timer on the PC, made by Max Design. They made 2 games that were part of their like Koei has a whole historical series. They did 2 games, and they're very different from one another, but they both have to do with transportation. The first one I believe was called 1800 Trader or something. They did one that was basically Ocean Trader type game, which is pretty cool in its own right, but I don't think it's as remembered as the Old Timer game, which is a full managerial game where you build automobiles at the turn of the 20th century, and it goes all the way, I think it's like 1980 or something, and it contains all of the history, accurate types of cars. Of course, then there's like newsprints and stuff that happen that change the world, of course, because you go through 2 different world wars, and you choose, and the difficulty of the game is significantly different based on where you choose to start your automotive branch. They highly recommend, and basically by default, unless you try to do something else, It will start you in Britain. um, but it has like a newspaper clipping will show up of the Rolls. Was it Royce, or I think it was Royce. The first person to die in an aviation accident also happens to bear the name of the Rolls-Royce company, because a lot of these early companies that made automobiles, they were sort of your Richard Branson type characters to some degree, where they were you know, they wanted the planes, they wanted the cars. That's what they did. They were daredevils, you know, like a little bit entrepreneurial, but they also were like into what they were doing. So why Saab's logo is like born from jets and stuff is because all these early companies have a history and all of this. So naturally, World War I and World War II, many of these companies are nationalized, and such as just how like everyone remembers the Olympics and stuff. Same thing happens with auto racing, and then that kind of goes slightly by the wayside after World War II ends, except for USSR and East Germany and like East and West Germany and like football. Or West Germany, I don't think East. Did East play? But anywho, so it's a very interesting era. There's what was the name of it? It was the not AAA. So there was this. They loved to do these early races where they would just race on public roads like a rally race, and it'd be like a 1,000-mile race. Like we'll start at the southern tip of Italy or France, and we'll drive all the way across the country, right? Similar like the Tour de France or something. So, you know, a lot of this is just rife with lack of safety and thought. You have these cars that clearly, I mean, they're capable of going quite fast. And usually there'd be like crazy fiery accidents everywhere because things fall apart. But anywho, there'd be people like around the side of the road, just like you see in like when we played Dirt 2 or whatever, and it's like, okay, so there was some really bad. The one that sort of ended the public road racing, I think it was called the Paris Death Race or something, from like 1916 or 1918. There's a whole. You have to go searching on the internet for it, but it'll show you like the track and what they did, and it was like that they sent everybody off like the early days of the Tour de France, and like people are getting hurt. And it was not necessarily good because the roads weren't maintained, the cars, you know, you got you'll see it like in old movies, like the romanticized version of this, where you have your just like in rally days now, you have your driver and the co-pilot. And then, of course, the co-driver also happens to be a mechanic because you're inevitably going to have tires and stuff. There's an old PC game I think it's called 1,000 Miglia or something, 1,000 Miles. And it's the Italian race of the same nature, and it'll stop you at various intervals. Oh, the other thing fun about this game is that it will crash after each race potentially. The Code Cheese has been doing. I don't know if it's an emulator issue or what. But, yeah. But the pit stops, I mean, given the fact that it's probably shortening the races, it's not, I wouldn't say it's inaccurate. I wouldn't say that. But we have old school Grand Prix scoring, except for back in the day in the old Grand Prix, so because it was all international and there'd be reasons that people couldn't make various races due to funding or whatever, they would typically only score, like there'd be like, let's say there's 6 or 8 races in the season, and they would just score the best 4 races or something. You get 2 drop races. Avis, high speed oval. It doesn't tell us how many laps. It's such a high speed oval that it takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go around. Need more water. But if I remember correctly, the issue that Sharpie had with this game was that the scenarios are just crazy difficult at some point. One thing I wanted to understand was both Sharpie and Cochise and any review I've read of this game or seen, your fuel goes down awful fast. So in an Indy car on an oval, I can burn like what, almost 2 gallons of fuel, maybe about 6 to 7.5 liters in about a minute. Go pretty fast. But, we're actually having trouble catching this guy. So this is where that other car would have maybe helped. And then we try to stop and we can't. But I mean, like, it only takes like 30, maybe 30 minutes to look at this guy. He's going to pass us. Now you'll notice that another thing that isn't accurate in this game is that there doesn't appear to be any type of drafting. If there is, it's very, very weak. Not that these cars are crazy aerodynamic, but I mean a thing going this fast in front of you. Oh, we're still going fast. Okay, now we're not going as fast. Did he wreck? Does he just wreck every time he gets into a corner? Because he just wrecked me. You'd think that would be how that works if this was a more simulation race. Like, this is not a Papyrus Sierra racing game, and that it would have gotten, I think, a much different treatment. Like, I think that they really could have knocked this out of the park. There was another game called the Grand Prix Legends, which ended up getting packaged with my copy of Simbin's GTR, the first game, GTR 1. Maybe it was 2, but I think it was 1. And I have it on Steam. That I haven't really played it too much, but like the engine and everything, it looks fantastic. I used to do on the original R Factor the 1970s F1 cars, and they're way super understeery, but basically kind of drive like this game. Like, I'd say this game is arcadey, but I mean, if I just had a little bit more precision in the controls, it's probably a little bit close to accurate. I mean, if you think of a lot of these tracks are very high speedy, they're not crazy technical, so. We get on these cobblestones, and oh god. And I don't know what you're supposed to do here. Let's try not to die. Somehow we're in third place. We're going to need someone in front of us to get wrecked. The other issue is we're going to have to find the pit lane, which I think was to our left there. Might have also been. That's the other thing in this game is that, yes, there's actually a pit lane somewhere, but back in the day, like, yeah, there was it was designated, but like you'd basically pull in and stop and they'd be servicing the car for like 10 minutes. Like, it wasn't, you were racing, but it really wasn't, it's not quite the pit lane that you think of these days, where they're all in and out. In fact, a lot of the innovation, somewhere I think a couple decades after this, is when people started getting really good. Like, the first thing is not having to like change your brakes and stuff during the race. Like, that's something they'd actually do in this. That's sort of simulated. You wouldn't have a mechanic on board for like the Grand Prix stuff. Just because, I mean, think of this track. If I pulled off to the side, there's cars going 100. Not, they'd be crazy enough to do that, but these races would basically last around the distance of a Grand Prix you'd see today. You know, a couple hours kind of thing. Like, they would do, oh, we're going to hit the wall. Be doing about, like, a 35 lap race at Spa or something. So, I mean, the lap times were slower, but, you know, 20, 30 lap race. Whereas nowadays, like, I think a Spa race would be like 45 laps. We're just getting destroyed in this one. We're going to lose. Maybe car choice was actually a thing. Because we are really getting destroyed. But I also need to, like, not miss the one corner on this track. There's like 2 loops. That was about it. Kind of reminds me of like a horse racing track with the way they have this rail set up and you can actually watch the oncoming traffic. I mean, that's just hair racing. Think about it, it'd be it's 400 miles an hour coming right at you. That is true that we're 16.5 seconds behind this. And then the other thing that happens in this game is you can see that now it's just slowing down for no reason at all. Probably because there's a car on the track going in the other direction. let's try to make this oval this time. See, just because you don't have a really crazy finite amount of control here. There it is. So there's the pit lane. That was it right there where we stopped. Oh, that was the other gap. So we're 24 seconds behind somebody. Wow. Glad we won the first race. Yeah, 185, right? That was what was advertised. That other car that we did not pick goes to 205. But this is probably the only track that we'd actually... This and maybe Roosevelt are probably the only tracks that we'd actually hit. But you see, we're sitting here at 183. I've got the R1 button just smashed down. They're gaining even more time. Is it because they're not on screen? Is that part of the issue? I wonder if that's part of the issue, that they're not on screen. Man, you hit it and you just wreck. The wrecking's not helping. The car behind us is just destroyed. They're very beat. But the car in front of us is so far in front of us, it's just not possible. 1 lap to go. So this has got to be down to car choice. Yep. This is the experience. There must have been old races where... Oh, how did it happen? Oh, because I had to fix the window capture. That's why you're behind the... You're behind the capture that had to be fixed because it was picking up the wrong... We're now 35 seconds behind. I don't think I could have driven this any harder. Like, okay, so I lost like 5-10 seconds maybe. There's no way. I mean, that dude passed us on this straight for free. He's going 20 miles an hour faster. I just don't think there's any way to catch him. I wasn't expecting to hear his car. It's kind of cool. Now, we're going to have to stop here when we get to the... We'll have to see how these pit stops work. What is the Y button? There's the Y button. Question is, how do I exit the pit lane? No, don't, no. I want to exit. Get me out of pit lane. Gas and go. Gas and go. Alright, you said to the gas. There it is. That's... We do want to beat them so we can get 3 points, 2 more points. My tire marks are still... It's actually interesting that it actually was able to save those, because a lot of games will remove them just to save on memory and stuff. This is why we turned down the car noises, because you can hear that they're kind of messed up. You know, the sound of a boat engine. The dude is 1 minute and 12 seconds in front of us. I think this is just not a race you're supposed to win in this car. There's just no way. There's just no way. Well, I've driven that other car. That was that other car that we were wrecking in that has really bad handling. And it tops out at 205. And then there are no all the other. This is the second best. This is the second fastest car. This 185 Mercedes Benz 154. So my assumption is that if it's actually the AIs are honest to like what the car stats are, is that there's a reason that that car wrecks every single time. It's not there's not a bunch of straightaways. Maybe it was more of a Indy 500 car and well, surely I mean they picked like Grand Prix season stuff, so maybe it's not like there weren't other high speed type oval things. Alright, so we're about to hit the bowl again. Oh, we caught the wall. It doesn't spin you out that hard though. This is actually going to be close to our best lap. The only thing that would be missing is the pit stop. But what was the pit stop? 20 seconds? Like we'd still not have it. Let's see if the game doesn't crash. We are now losing to that car. We got our max speed 186. Oh look, it's another high speed oval. Oh, this guy's quick though. Wow, there's actually a pit exit sign? Well, let's see what of a disaster this is. Is this red car just going to run away from us? Oh my goodness. Come on, red car, I know you can't do it. 10 laps. How is the lap record 30 seconds? Don't you dare. Oh, you jerk. Maybe I can damage him. It's like this is like Rocketeer country. Glad we saved. Jeez Louise. You have to be kidding me. The lap record's 28 seconds? Oh, game. We might just restart. 12 seconds back. All we gotta do is chase him down, though. I don't have to do much more. 4.4. We lost an eternity of time there. So what is the slip angle? Like 130? Before the car starts skidding? I'm hoping we can catch up without me having to reload. The other thing that's missing from this game is that there's no... what do you call it? There is no rubber down on the track. Like there's this line that you see that's just down the middle of the track for no reason. So basically I'm trying to go into a turn high above it and then come down lower. That's about all I got. And we're catching up, so maybe we'll be okay. Record 28.5. If you're actually supposed to beat that, I have no idea. There's no way. Here's third place, which scares me in that I don't know where second place is, because if that's third place... They are taking an actual racing line. That's interesting. You cannot draft the car in front of you. You're just faster than them. So how close is second place? How screwed are we? Hard mode just impossible. 21 seconds. Oh boy. So you cannot let them go away, basically. We're either in a really bad car, or we should have taken the other car. They can't have it. They just have to learn to drive the behemoth. 21 seconds? Are you kidding me? Was I simply just not supposed to pick this car? Is that the disaster that we're currently experiencing? Why was I able to win the first one? Just because he wrecked? Was the first one free? Dude's 21 and a half seconds ahead. What is happening? I mean, we're 3 seconds slower than the lap record. I have no way of catching them. I'm wondering if I should be in manual transmission. Because this thing sure does want to get stuck between gears, and you'd never want that. I'd rather be sitting at the high RPM. Disaster. Disaster. Oh, somehow we're leading the championship, though. How did that happen? Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Clearly, we're somehow winning. All right. So this one always reminded me. It kind of looks like a little bit of the Spanish Grand Prix, or little bit of Laguna Seca. Not quite. But you got these long, winding corners. Ugh. I do not know this track. Let's see. Yeah, it was a bunch of big winding corners. Good old sausage curving. The Long Island Trophy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Roosevelt Raceway was in New York. Definitely. This one's lost at time. Oh, we're 8 seconds ahead now. That's one thing you don't typically get in this game is you don't get a lot of bumper to bumper kind of racing. The other thing that's sort of odd to me that's missing, like if this is a game that you got on your console, right, and your friend comes over, how come you can't play multiplayer? That's the one thing that really befuddles me. For all the little minor changes that allegedly are between this and the PC version, you couldn't. I mean, it could very well be that the engine couldn't handle it, and maybe that was a thing. Like part of the reason that this game ended up the way that it was is because I guess at Microprose there were like 3 different lead devs that were involved, and they all had different ideas on the project, which ended up being a mess, basically. So we're going to try something that I don't think Cochise or Sharpie did. And that's, I think at this track they have to make a fuel stop. I'm curious if we can save enough fuel to not have to make the stop. That's my curiosity on this track. Oh, didn't mean to hit that. Now I have to use fuel. Really 40 seconds ahead of the second place car. 7 seconds. What was the 40? That last place? Or was that a check time? Maybe it was a check time. Lap section. Turn felt pretty good. Bounce, 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 bounce. Oh, dude's catching up to us. We gotta race like we mean it now. So in theory, at the end of lap 3, we need to have enough fuel left. He is right on our tails. We'll be coming across the line on fumes, basically, if we don't make a stop. We run out right here. Uh-oh. Oh, that was a mistake. Please get out of the dirt. Let's go. Get him. Get him. Yeah. Hit him. Gonna have to wreck him now. Now we got a race. Uh-oh. Gonna have to get under him. Jeez Louise. That car is just better than my car. Just straight better. How was this guy able to control it when I couldn't? Is it just going too fast and I need to be braking more? I don't know, we're gonna have to really go for it. Whoa, why is he stopping? Well, if he has to stop too, then we're good. Then we're good, then we're just gonna race. We don't need a lot of fuel, we just actually have to stop for fuel, that's it. Dude is 3 seconds behind us. Seconds. I mean, I just should have driven a lot harder. We're getting close to the pit lane entry. We're not going to have enough fuel without stopping. Where is it? It's right here. Oh my god, game. For real. Thank you. No, I don't want tires. Oh my god, I don't know what the A button is. Oh my god. Well, we're gonna get second. What button is Y on the... Alright, let's go. That's right, that one was camera. That was a total disaster. It's the top button is Y. Because I do not have a full-on Dreamcast controller. I don't think there's a chance that we catch them. I'd like to know what the gap is, but there's no way we're catching. We needed literally a splash. That's true. I don't think, no, we're 5 seconds in arrears. Wow, we actually could have gotten first. could still get first with how much time is left. I think we need him to wreck though. There was like a full lap and a half, yes. No, he's at the finish line. Oh, if he's at the finish line, then there's absolutely no way. We are nowhere near the finish line. So no, it was never happening. Maybe if we weren't racing at speed tracks, maybe we could do this. The spirit of something. What are the current standings? It is somehow... Do the standings just not work? What? Do the standings just not work? We're the 25, right? We're the 15 car. Yeah. There's only 4 cars here. Is it like screwing up because there's only 4 cars? I mean, that'll do us. That'll do us. It's almost time to play out Deadlock. Isn't this Monaco? Maybe not. It does kind of look like Monaco, though. No. I think I looked this track up out of curiosity. Okay. The missile there. Oh, it actually puts the car numbers on the cars. There you go. Oh, we're gonna hit the wall. That actually went a lot less worse than I thought it would. I wonder how many races are in the championship then. Look at you get 1 tree. There's 1 tree. Oh, hello. Yeah, get wrecked. No, buddy. Anything I can do to spin you out sideways is what I'd be going for here. Game, you really have a bad time with gears. Oh my goodness, we have a... Oh boy, well. So manual gearing is a must because the game is really, really bad at shifting. Legitimately terrible at shifting. And if this guy drives off into the sunset because of that, I'm gonna actually be somewhat mad. So, suggestion to people playing this, don't use automatic because it's bad. It's actually bad. And the game doesn't understand how to shift you. Like right now it's shifting me into 2nd gear for no reason. He is just right up the road, so maybe we'll be okay. doubt I could have actually wrecked his car. I don't know, we'll see where this race goes. I wonder what the scenarios were. I'll have to look at that too. I just remember some of them being very difficult for no reason. We were ahead. We might be catching now. If that time gap is accurate, 3.6? I don't know which time gap. He is not 10 seconds up the road. There's no way. It's 3.5 seconds. Well, he might have wrecked. It's all smoke. Oh my god. That's the worst in an arcadey racing game, is like when you hit something head on and it just stops you in zero. Why is this track go on forever? Okay, so anytime we see arrows, we need to actually hit the brakes, I guess. He is not 3 seconds up the road, is he? No way. I don't even see him anymore. Is that a lap? A lap's 4 minutes? Oh my goodness. We're gonna lose to this guy again. Look at how fast. Look at this. It's the 205 mile an hour silliness again. Until we get to this intersection. Oh, he wrecked. He wrecked right here. Let's go. You're now in the lead. I hope we don't have to pit, because I don't know where that is. Yeah, you see how it's like doing weird things in first gear? That's the product of the terrible transmission settings. Well, hopefully we finish this lap with enough fuel. We have to have at least a third of a tank, right? But this is where this guy just destroys us. I need him to wreck again. Yeah, so there's no way without stopping. We have to stop at the end of this lap. Oh my god, this corner. I've lost so much time, and then the automatic transmission made this even worse. So that's that's the time to the next car, whereas the plus is how much I'm behind. So where is the pit lane? Hope that's enough. Let's go. I need a check here. I need a time check. I know how far ahead he is. Learn a new trick. Slamming it down into lower gear. Might cost us oil, which I don't really care about. Unless it's really low. "18 seconds ahead. There's no way. There's no way that we're gonna catch this guy. Unless he goes into the hay bales. Lands in a pigsty. Oh, yes. There's no way." Weren't we also the championship leader somehow, though? For reasons I don't know. We'll just win automatically. Didn't this require braking a little bit? Like a minute on the lap. 15 seconds. There's no way. I need him to hit the wall or something. Crushed the third place guy. Guess we're about to find out if we've run out of fuel. I'm sure you do. What? Uh-oh. He had to stop for fuel. We won! He won because he stopped for fuel. Wow! I wasn't expecting that. Watch the game just like buffer overflow us into last place or something. I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting our gas and go strat to work. We now are winning the championship by 9 points. How do you like that? Might as well save it in the next one so I know what races there are. Oh, Pow! Pow's in the mountains. That is the gateway to the Alp. So what were these scenarios? Are you allowed to pick them? Yes, you are. The Miller? Oh, Montana. Some of these car combos sound very difficult. Because we know some of them are way underpowered. That's all of them. It's basically just running through all the tracks with some story flavor. But the car situation... Some of these cars... So what tracks are actually available here? So we did Tripoli, I know Avis. The Brooklands. Donington still exists. Monza still exists. So we've almost done all the tracks. So that is almost all championship mode. Alright. Oh, I've had enough. I'm gonna call it there and go eat some.